Well, let me choose. I should probably swallow my gun.
Don't swallow your gum. Go spit it out
That's
somewhere.
it's not. That's like not
It's
real.
not good for you.
Ooh, it's
You,
gone.
you didn't swallow it.
I did. It's
I
gone.
don't believe you.
What do you think? Why would I lie about that?
Why would it make such a loud gulping noise?
Because you have to force some things down. The gulp forces it down.
That's not healthy.
Yeah, you're right. Let me wash it down with some bubbly. It's healthy because that's it's healthy water.
Sure. Okay.
All right, we're now or never.
Welcome to Hours of Hope Radio Show. I'm your host,
Rohmon and Josiah.
Welcome to Hours of Hope Radio Show. I'm your host,
Rohmon and Josiah. Welcome. Welcome to the Hours of Hope podcast. I'm Rohmon.
And I'm Josiah.
And we are here because
we want to bring hope in these hours.
That's it for the show. Thanks for coming out, guys. Good night. Oh, man. Hilarious. If you notice, me and Josiah are wearing beanies and sweaties.
Sweaties?
Yeah, that's my term.
Okay.
We're wearing beanies and sweaties because it's Southern California winter.
Yeah. And the funny thing is we didn't plan it.
We didn't plan it.
No.
It's just that cold that, it's 68 degrees. And for Californians, that's freezing. It's overcast.
It's 60.
It's about 65 overcast.
Okay.
But still, for Californians, that's pretty cold.
Chilly.
It's chilly. If this was like pre, I don't know, what year did you move here?
2009, I think. Like January.
Yeah, if this is January, February, 2009. Josiah be wearing flip flops, a shirt, and just a t-shirt and shorts.
Yeah,
because this would have been warm for you.
Oh yeah,
but now he's got the California blood, and we go outside on an overcast 63 degrees, and burr.
It's true. It's funny how your body like adapts and changes based on the climate of where you live.
Yeah, even Rice has a flannel on. Yeah. Hey, Rice.
Hello.
He's got a flannel on. So we have a great show today.
Yes.
I had an interesting thought. I know this is a curveball. It's not we discussed.
Okay.
But do you notice patterns in your city? Like when you're driving down the street and you're looking at and you're just like let's say you're going a good distance down your street.
Yeah.
And you notice like patterns. Like, for example, Riverside. Okay, we're in Riverside. All the streets that go north-south are presidents.
I never.
Tyler, Van Buren, Madison, Washington, Jefferson, Adams. It's all the presidents. And as I'm on Magnolia, I'm going east.
Yeah.
And I'm passing the streets. And as I'm passing these major streets, I'm looking at the names and I'm like, Monroe, like these are presidents.
Huh.
These are presidents. Yeah. Or like in Rialto, they're trees, sycamore, cedar. I don't remember the other ones, but and then in Fontana, they're fruits, citrus, cherry, banana.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
I never thought about that.
Yeah.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
What's Upland? Upland is
numbers. I thought about Upland. I was like, is Upland numbers? Because it's first, second.
Yeah, it goes all the way up to 19th beyond
24th
20 something.
It gets up to like 24, 26.
Yeah.
So then I started wondering, like the Riverside streets, when they're going to put in like current presidents. I know LA, they turn one street to Obama Avenue. There's an Obama Avenue.
Oh, okay.
But can you imagine we get to the point where we have a Trump Avenue and a Biden Avenue and a Clinton Avenue?
Yeah.
That'll be weird.
Yeah.
So what you going to do to get to my house? You're going to go down Bush. Or you can go down Bush Jr. and then you're gonna turn left on 7th, and then you're gonna turn right again on Biden. I'm right off Biden.
I mean, that's probably what's going to happen.
That's so weird.
Yeah, when you look at not only the what did you call it? Routines? No, the
Patterns.
Not only the patterns of cities, but also just kind of the traditions of our country and like how over time that is what happens.
Yeah.
Memorable people, historical people.
Yes.
I mean, there's lots of Martin Luther King boulevards like everywhere.
On the side note, we've learned in our trips and our travels, don't ever go there. Don't matter what city you're in. If there's a Martin Luther King Boulevard in your city, do not go there.
Why?
It's really hood. Every Martin Luther King street is hood.
Not the one in Springfield, Oregon.
Springfield, Oregon has a Martin Luther King Boulevard.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't know that existed. I know in Portland there's a Martin Luther King Boulevard, and just like anywhere else, you don't go there. I went and got my haircut there once, and the place across the street got shot up while I was getting my haircut in Portland.
But it's something you risk because in the ghetto areas, right? The sketch areas, you get the best food, you
get the best haircuts. You do.
It's like, so are you willing to risk your life for the best? I mean, maybe. I'm trying to think what Obama Street used to be in LA. I'm trying to think was that used to be Martin Luther King Boulevard in LA, or did we I think we kept MLK. I'm sure we kept MLK.
In LA, yeah.
We wouldn't get rid of MLK.
I just don't remember what Obama used to be. There's the Obama Avenue, but it's a big street. Like it's a popular street that's been there for years.
Huh.
And the last couple of times I've been in LA, I'll pass that street and I'm like, oh, that's right. It's Obama now. It's Obama Avenue.
I'm sure we could Google it.
Easily.
Yeah.
Easily.
Sure.
So we have some stuff going on today for this episode, and I left my phone in my office, and I need my phone.
Oh.
So while I go get my phone, you talk about our segment of the food.
Okay.
All right. So I'll be right back. So keep going.
All right. So which shot am I? I'm gonna look here.
That's your camera.
Okay. So first off, let me just say this: we're still at the beginning stages of Rohmon and I being the co-hosts of Hours of Hope. So we are still kind of finding our niche, I guess you could say, and finding our place here and how the show's going to be. But we're excited to be here with you guys. And so one segment that we would like to add, and we kind of done it jokingly in our last couple episodes, but we would like to add the segment of food. I'm not sure what we're calling it yet, but we can call it food critics, or I don't know. It's going to be a segment where Rohmon and I become food critics for the moment.
Sure.
Let's do it.
Okay.
So I picked something up. Rohmon does not know what I picked up. He does know the location of where I picked it up, and he is not a fan. So
let's do that before you introduce what you got us.
Okay.
My theory,
yes,
is that it's an unpopular theory, but about 90% of the food at Trader Joe's is trash.
Yeah, and I vastly disagree.
I think that Trader Joe's tastes like cardboard.
And Trader Joe's is where I do most of my shopping because I think their food is delicious, and I love all of their seasonal snacks.
Okay. So now that we're here.
So I picked up two items. One that I have never had before. So we're going to try this together. And two, and then the second one is one that I have, but it's delicious. So one savory and one sweet. So
I'm down with savory and sweet today. I am hungry. I've been waiting for this all. What is that, Papa Squat?
So it's a popcorn, but I don't know how to say this word. It's piquant popcorn.
Piquant.
Piquant. Piquant popcorn. Seasoned with nutritional yeast, onion seasoning. So
Already, I'm not.
And Rice is also going to try this with it. Rice is our amazing engineer. And so you hear his voice, but you don't see him. And he is also going to try.
But you should see him. Are you on Tinder or like Hinge? Are you on any of the dating apps? We should do an episode where we bring in singles and see if we can hook Rice up on a date.
If he wants that.
Do you want that?
I don't know what to say. I'll let you decide for me.
Okay.
I would
so
love to decide for him.
I think that's a yes.
So that's another episode we can work on.
So see, we're bringing hope to Rice for the future.
Oh
of
man,
his
what if Rice gets
romantic
married
life.
because of a woman that we chose for him?
That could happen.
Oh, that'd be so
That'd be
sweet.
cool. And then we'd be like the new best matchmakers.
Yes.
We could create a television show and become.
Oh
famous.
my gosh, we'd be so good at this.
Okay.
That'd be interesting. Who you would pick for him
Uh-huh.
and who I'd pick for him? Because I can tell you
It
right
would
now,
be so different.
so different. It'd be like that episode of Friends where Phoebe and Chandler and Monica are bringing in people for Rachel,
Yeah.
and I'd be like, people's like, he's super rich, give her some money, and I was like, our guy smells amazing. That would be the battle.
Yeah. That'd be fun.
Yeah, we gotta do it.
But we'd have to get we'd have to talk logistically, but we'd have to get like a group of women who are willing to participate in this as well.
That's where the problem's going to fall. But really, not because they don't want to date Rice.
No,
we
but
just
because,
gotta go to women and be like, hey, are you interested in, putting yourself out there and letting me and
Right.
Josiah choose who?
yeah. But all it is a date, right?
Yeah,
it's
it's just
not
a date.
like
No.
it's not like the Married at First Sight
No.
or the what's that other one? The
Love is blind.
Love is Blind.
Yeah, it's not
yeah,
like that.
it's not those.
It's just your friends picking out.
Well, you know the whole thing going down where like friends take care of your like dating accounts.
Yes.
That's basically it.
That's what we should do.
I did not know that was a thing.
Yeah.
But we can be those friends for you.
Yes. We'll set up a Tinder page for Rice, and you and I will select people to see who he matches with.
Yes. Another great idea is something Roman and I talked about years ago.
Speed dating.
Yes.
We wanted to
We
speed date so
always wanted
bad.
to speed date, and then we both got married.
Yeah.
And so we missed our opportunity for speed dating, which is fine. But for the experience, it would have been kind of fun.
Yeah.
But, once we were married.
But if you go speed dating, we will go with you speed dating, and on our dates, we'll just say, hey, I'm just emotionally unavailable right now.
that is no.
Okay.
No. But it'd be fun.
I still want to speed date. I'm just saying.
Remind me what that is.
So speed dating is a room of, there's girls that sit at all these little tables across this room, and then guys sit at, and there's just a bunch of guys lined up. So a guy will sit with a girl, right? And then they'll have a 5-minute conversation,
Yeah.
and the bell rings, and then the guy goes to the next table. So the line of guys just go table to table, 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 table. And at the end of the night, you write down who you would feel like you're most compatible to go on a date with. And if you match, you got to match.
Yep.
Yeah, that's too much on the spot.
But it's cool. It's like you have literally 5 minutes with each person.
Yes.
So it's like testing your skills of being yourself, but like, having a connection in 5 minutes. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
I think it's cool.
Yeah, but-
We'll get you out there, Rice. Rice is a good looking dude. He's got a
Yeah.
lot going for him.
Yeah.
We'll find you a nice girl.
Yeah.
This is terrifying, but thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like it.
Yes.
Okay. Let's get
All right.
back to food.
Okay.
So piquant, is that what we're calling
We're
it?
calling it piquant.
Piquant. If there's an
Depending on how it tastes, we may have to change the name.
Okay. Grab a little handful there. Or do you
Okay,
want me to
so
pour it
no,
into your hand?
I'm gonna grab a handful. So as I'm looking at it, I get a whiff, and I'm gonna tell you right now, it smells a little bit like popcorn. Let me whiff again.
Okay.
Okay.
I thought you were gonna say it smells like cardboard. I was like,
No.
"You're-"
I at first I looked into it, and I'm gonna tell you right now, it looks like food. So
Cool. Okay.
I'm gonna take a
Take
handful.
a handful.
It feels like real popcorn.
That's a good sign.
There's a lot of seasoning on this thing. It's like a red and orange seasoning,
Handful.
but it's nutritional yeast.
Yeah, which
That-
is really good actually.
Throws me off. I don't know what yeast.
Yeah.
Do you have a handful of rice?
I do.
Okay, here we go.
Cool.
Let's try.
Okay, here we go. Mmm. Wow. What? What?
What the hell is this? It's popcorn, so the popcorn is real. And it's real popcorn. I don't know about this seasoning though.
It's interesting.
I don't know about this seasoning. That's why I'm laughing. Like, what's wrong with just see? This is what I don't like about Trader Joe's. Okay, what's wrong with regular popcorn? Why do you have to do this to
I
us?
have that too, though.
I just don't understand. Why?
Yeah, I want to keep eating it.
Yep. I got an idea. What's the idea? We're gonna make popcorn and then we're gonna put yeast on it. What do you call that? Piquant.
It's I don't know how to describe it.
Okay, so it's yeast and what else?
It's nutritional yeast.
What does that mean?
So it's something a lot of vegans eat it, I think, unless I'm getting it mixed up. But I forget what it is like a replacement for. I can't remember. It's like a replacement for something, I think.
Flavor?
And then onion, sea salt, and garlic.
Okay, I don't taste much of the sea salt.
Yeah, I
I don't taste any sea salt. I taste the onion and garlic.
Yeah.
That's very strong and heavy.
Yeah, that's like it kind of like sits at the back of your throat. Like that's where it's sitting for me. On the roof of my mouth, but like in the back.
I feel like you eat a whole bag of this, your poop's gonna look really weird. Your poop's gonna come out powdery.
What? Why would you? Why?
I just feel like this is the kind of stuff that
Is that what happens when you eat Cheetos?
Yeah.
Cheese puffs?
Yes.
Your poop comes out powdery.
It doesn't come out normal. And I know this because I ate cheese puffs last week and I was like, this poop is weird. Like, I haven't had cheese puffs in so long, which is really random that you brought cheese puffs. Because I just had them like 5 days ago.
Wow.
And my poop was really weird. And I was like, now that you mentioned it, I was like, I bet you it was those cheese puffs.
Cheese puffs. Okay. Well, then there's something there because those are very powdery.
And cheese puffs is like styrofoam,
Yeah.
like dissolving styrofoam.
Yeah.
This doesn't taste like cardboard.
No. Oh, wow. Cool.
It tastes like I feel like I would eat this popcorn if I was dating a girl that I wanted to impress. So I didn't want to show my true colors yet. So I just ate this.
So what true colors would you be hiding?
Like, you know, when you get married and you get comfortable with your spouse or whatever, and they give you this popcorn, you're like, don't bring this in the house ever again.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? But if you're dating somebody, you're like, oh yeah, I'll have more. And then in your mind, you're thinking, God, I just asked for more.
You mentioning that and then dating or mentioning the whole dating process before this,
Yeah.
that's where I would stop.
Rice would dump her like,
If-
why'd you do?
If she brought these popcorn in,
Yeah.
that's it.
See? Rice is picky. So then Rice is,
so
Rice, why'd you stop talking to her?
So you
She
weren't
served
a
me
fan.
piquant.
So you weren't a fan of the piquant.
What is piquant? Let's Google this. This is
I want to hear Rice's thoughts on this.
Listen, I could have kept eating them because it's popcorn.
yes.
Okay.
The flavor wasn't too bad.
Okay.
I would never buy it again.
Okay. Interesting.
Piquant. This is the definition of piquant.
Okay.
Having a pleasantly sharp taste of appetizing flavor. I can see what they're trying to go for. But they could have did this with sour cream and onion.
Yeah. I agree. Or like it kind of has the taste, like the flavor or texture almost of like when you have the what's it called, like cheddar popcorn.
Yes. Let me try it one more time.
Yeah.
Because it's popcorn.
Yeah.
You have that
It's good.
you have
I
that
mean, it's not great.
you have that addictive process
Mhm.
to popcorn.
I like it.
I see before the show, I mentioned that Josiah, I was trying not to be offensive because I said, yeah, man, Trader Joe's, everything there tastes like cardboard. And Josiah goes, this is before the show, he says, all the food I have, we shop at Trader Joe's. And I just gave him this look like, and I didn't want to insult him like, I've eaten your food. But this second time eating this popcorn, I feel like this is what they would offer me if I went to their house. This is what he would offer me.
These are the kinds of snacks we get.
Yeah.
I like them.
What else you got?
right. Lacy cookies. What? These are so good.
We gotta keep going to Trader Joe's, and you keep trying to find something I like.
I haven't had these in years, so hopefully they're as good as they used to be. But and I don't know. I feel like there used to be a milk chocolate one. This is dark chocolate,
Okay.
so I'm not sure what they'll be like.
Lacy chocolate cookies.
Yeah, they are dark chocolate almond. So
Okay, hold on. Let me finish these popcorn real quick.
okay.
I gotta rinse my mouth out real fast.
Yeah, I know. I have to do that too. Do we have comments on this or no? Can people comment?
Yes, they can comment on the YouTube channel.
Okay, so I would say comment if you like Trader Joe's. Comment whatever your favorite snack is. I'm very curious. And comment on what you would maybe like us to try in the future.
Oh yeah, there's a go.
Now,
So-
I don't eat meat. I eat fish, but I don't eat meat. So
Because he's a pedestrian.
a pedestrian. When I'm walking on the street, I am.
He's a Pentecostal.
I'm a pescatarian.
Okay.
Now I almost said Presbyterian.
I know. No, you did.
I was like,
You almost messed it up yourself.
I did. Yeah, it'd be cool to get ideas from our listeners, our viewers, to
Yeah.
see what foods you would like us to try. They can be unique. They can be crazy.
But they can't be crickets or bugs of any kind.
Well, why not?
Yeah, I don't eat bugs.
Okay.
You do, but I don't.
I mean, it's not like I snack on them.
If you eat Trader Joe's,
my
you eat
God.
bugs. There's gotta be bugs somewhere in that store.
One food item I always wanted to try, but now that I don't eat meat, I won't. But it's balut. It's a Filipino dish. It's the egg that has the baby chick in it.
Isn't that what eggs are?
No. So I found out that the eggs that we eat, they are eggs, but they are not fertilized. So they aren't like they're even if we don't eat them, a baby chick is not going to grow inside of this egg. It's not
Okay.
going to happen because they're not fertilized eggs. So I'm not sure exactly the whole balut.
So
situation,
balut, you
but
eat a fertilized
you
egg.
eat a fertilized egg.
So you're
like,
basically having a
literally,
chicken abortion.
Yeah, the baby chicken is in
See,
there.
he's eating the fetus of a chicken.
You are.
That's gross.
That's. I mean, I've never had it.
And I bet you they are at Trader Joe's.
No, they are not. But they're. I think they're a delicacy. You can find them at specific like Filipino stores.
Hmm.
But yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, let's have this cookie.
All right, so I'm having a. What is this again?
It's called a lacy cookie.
It's a lacy cookie,
You have yours, Rice? Okay. I think
dark
he's-
chocolate with almonds.
Yep.
All right, here we go.
Let's do it. So I will say this is good, but I'm pretty sure I had milk chocolate before and I did like it better. I'm more of a milk chocolate guy than dark chocolate. I don't mind dark chocolate, but
I wish y'all could see Rice's face right now. What are you thinking? Let me say, let him finish. This is like a mixture of, like, my mom used to burn cookies when we were a kid. She used to burn. She used to burn homemade
oh my God.
chocolate chip cookies, and they were really flat and crispy. And that's what this tastes like,
I hope she's not watching
with
this.
coconut in it. Is there no coconut in this?
No.
I want you to notice how hard it is for me to bite into this thing. Very hard.
I think it's delicious.
You think this is delicious?
Yes. This is good. I love the texture. It's like this crispy type of cookie with a chocolate layer in the center, it seems. And I don't know, it's like, it's just delicious.
I'm not quite sure if I'm sold on this. I mean, it's sweet because it's a cookie. I mean, it does taste
I like it.
wildly familiar to my mom's burnt chocolate chip cookies. And they're really flat.
Well, Roman may be talking about his mom's burnt chocolate chip cookies, but her greens and her mac and cheese are the best.
But that's not the point of the conversation.
I know, but I got to give a shout out because if she watches, she's gonna be like, "Why he just talking about my burnt cookies?" You're welcome, Mama Rita. That was a shout out.
My mom can make greens.
Really good.
She can make mac and cheese.
Mm-hmm.
She can even make some good fried chicken.
Oh yeah.
This chick can't make no cookies.
I've never had her cookies.
I don't remember her cookies that well. I remember they were always burnt. And you had to dig your spatula underneath the cookie to get it off the pan.
Oh yeah, I've done that.
Yep.
Honestly though, I like homemade cookies being like slightly burnt. I just feel like that makes it homemade.
This was homemade then. This is made in Lacey's kitchen.
This isn't burnt. I like it.
I feel like these are the snacks. This and the popcorn are the snacks you put in my office when I need to lose weight. You want guarantee I won't snack throughout the day? Put these jokers in my office.
See, I'm different though because you put like snacks that I don't necessarily prefer in my office. I'm still gonna eat them.
Oh man.
So that's why if I want to lose weight, you need to actually put healthier snacks in there. I'll eat them. I may not like them, but I'll eat them.
What do you think of the cookie?
For assuming that it's healthy
Mm-hmm.
and it's very organic,
Mm-hmm.
it passes the test.
Okay.
It has what?
It passes the test.
Oh, passes the test. Got it.
If she brought this to a date,
Yeah.
I think it deserves a second.
Oh,
A second date. Let me see the nutrition.
All right. We should call these second date cookies.
But are they gonna get a third date? If she bring these again.
Well, if she brings them again, then she's a one-trick pony. Right?
So what's Trader Joe's known for? Because the ingredients on this cookie makes this cookie more processed than it is. Oh no, it's okay. We're good. It's
most Trader Joe's items are more on the organic side or like more natural ingredients.
Okay.
I mean, they clearly have sweets and all that stuff, but they're just ultimately, I think, higher quality.
These are not bad, but see how long it's taking me to eat one because it's
I
hard to
don't
get
know
through.
how.
The funny thing is, I thought it was good, right? I love dark chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
But then you mentioned it for the cookie.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, that changes everything.
Does it taste like that, right?
Well, okay. I'll be the odd man out.
It's
on
not
this one.
cardboard, so that's
Okay,
good.
cool. Okay.
If you offer me another one, I probably not today, but I probably would eat it.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
So moving on, let's go to our one of our topics of the hour. We are going to talk about,
The top 10, in our opinion.
yes, in our opinion, faith-based films.
Whoa.
Oh, this is so in this process. So Roman, he came to me or called me yesterday. He was like, "Let's talk about this." I was like, "Okay." So it's funny how like I grew up in the church and grew up watching faith-based films. But it's funny how initially I could not think of many. Like I could only think of maybe 5.
Mm-hmm.
And then as time passed, I was like, oh, but there's that one. Oh, but there's that one. And then I was like, okay, well, how am I gonna what's my criteria that I'm going off of what makes a great faith-based film? Is it gonna be, was it impactful in my life? Was it something that made a big impact in the Christian world or in our world in general? Was the story good? Was the acting good? Was the production quality good? Right. So there's all these different levels. And I didn't really come up with an answer.
Okay.
so it was a little hard. So I tried to just kind of combine all of those things and just think about what I thought was a great film, all in all. So
Mhm.
story, acting, all of it. And sometimes like the story and the impact kind of beat out the acting a little bit, but yeah, and it was really hard to narrow it down. So we were each going to give 5 of our top, and it was hard for me. So
And then Rice is going to judge our top 10.
yes,
Now, and then he also has on his Google, he has a list of what Google says are top 5, top 10. So my grade, I graded based off of rewatchability.
Ooh, I like that rewatchability.
Yeah.
Now, I think should we go like back and forth? Okay,
yes.
let's do it.
So I did it off of rewatchability. What is something I watch again? What is something I continue to watch
Okay.
and stays with me, like in my mind? So I based it off of that because I don't think when it comes to faith-based films they have broken the mold of what it can be. So I picked 5 with some alternates that in my mind stand out in the genre and are just really cohesive films, and they're rewatchable.
Okay. I like that. I
Okay,
think that's
so
good.
you want to go first?
So another rule that we added is that if one of us says a movie that's on our list and the other person has that movie on their list, it cancels out the movie on their list and they have to pick another one.
So we have alternates as well.
Yes.
Okay. So if we get to the 10 and we still have alternates, those alternates will be honorable mentions.
Honorable mentions. Okay.
Okay.
So it's hard. Wait, you said if we get to the 10 and we still have alternates?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay, cool.
Those alternates will be alternative.
Yeah. I just thought of another one. Dang it. And now it just left my mind. Must not be that memorable. That's okay.
It's not rewatchable, Josiah. So who should go first?
I'll let you go first.
Okay, my first one on my top 10, and these are not in no particular order.
Right, same. Yeah.
Okay. So my number 1 is To Save a Life.
I forgot about that. Oh, that was so good. I agree. That's great.
Save a Life was a great movie. Did you watch that one, Rice?
Okay,
we're starting off well.
should.
Yeah, we're starting off good. To Save a Life is
Oh
a
my
wonderful
goodness.
film, right?
Mhm.
Very rewatchable. I don't know how many times I've seen it.
Oh, same.
I've seen it several times. The acting was good, and my thing I liked about it the most was it showed it gave you a little bit of raw realism.
Yeah, I love that.
Right, the boy wasn't polished. Right, when he flipped out on the church, he cussed in the film.
Yeah,
and I loved it.
yeah. There was even there was a scene that showed that I don't know
Intimacy.
Can I be real? Yeah,
Yeah,
let's
be
do that.
real. Yeah.
Intimacy. And I mean these are teenagers,
Yeah.
right? It showed that they were intimate,
Mm-hmm.
but it didn't go too far, but it did show him shirtless, zipping up his pants.
Yep.
So it gave that a little bit raw.
It wasn't Christianese at all.
No, and I appreciate that so much.
Mhm.
Because I mean, let's be real. We live in a real world,
Mm-hmm.
Where real raw things happen. And I
Yeah.
think too many Christians in the church hide their sin or hide the things that we should be real about it so that we can grow, and we should rally around people and love them through their stuff.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I love when movies show the real and the raw.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that great movie. Wow.
Yeah.
Good one. Rohmon.
I knew it.
I give you a 10.
I have a great list. I'm
I
just telling you,
know.
my list is great.
Now I'm intimidated.
Don't be intimidated.
But so mine's a mixture of childhood. Well, really only one from my childhood.
Okay.
And then there's lots. Yeah. I think I have a good list.
Okay, go. Your next
Anyway,
one. Go.
Okay. I'll do the one from my childhood.
Okay.
Left Behind.
Which one? Kirk Cameron Left Behind?
Yeah, the Kirk Cameron Left Behind.
Okay.
So I know they did a remake with Chad Michael Murray and Nicolas Cage.
Yes, I haven't seen that one though.
So I did, but I don't remember it. So that tells you something, right? I don't know. I remember little bits and pieces, but not a ton. I'm sure it was great. I think the production quality was probably higher than the original, and I'm sure some of the acting. But I thought the acting in the original Left Behind was really good.
See, I think the Kirk Cameron Left Behind series left me something to be desired.
Well, because they didn't finish them.
Oh, okay. Well, then-
There's so many books of Left Behind.
they only did what, 2 or 3?
I think they only did 2.
Did they do? Because I had this
There's
thought
like
the other
10 books.
Okay, so I had this thought a couple of days ago. I was thinking about the Left Behind series. not for this list, but I was just thinking about that series.
Okay.
And I really recall that they had showed how, in their understanding, how the Antichrist was created. Was
Yeah.
that this series? Because I remember somebody getting shot and then dying, and
Yeah.
then they came back. Was that the Left Behind series, or was that just a completely different film?
Wait, got shot and came back. I don't remember that,
Okay.
but
Do you remember the second? What is the second one called?
well, it's called Left Behind 2, I think.
Oh, didn't because the
But
TBN was really pushing this movie, and I
they-
thought that was a
I
sequel
don't know.
to the
But
Left
I mean,
Behind
they,
series.
they talk about the Antichrist a lot. Like the guy who played the Antichrist, I remember being really great.
Mhm.
And there were some scenes that were like freaky. Like, I don't know. I remember as a child when the rapture was something that was scary to me, and I didn't really have my own, I guess, views or opinions on what my interpretation of scripture was with the rapture.
Mhm.
You know, obviously I like Left Behind was my idea of it. That's what I saw, that's what I believed. So it was kind of scary
Yeah.
because it's like, I don't know, but there's a scene where they're in this conference room, and Kirk Cameron's character, he is there and he's already a believer by this point. Or no, he literally gives his life to Jesus in the restroom. He wasn't a believer at the start of the film,
Mhm.
so he's left behind.
Okay.
And then the rapture happens. He's left behind. He's at this thing, and there's different events and things that are happening. And he goes in the bathroom and he literally cries out to God, and he gives his life to Jesus in the restroom. He goes back in this conference room where there's the lady on the plane. She's like the flight attendant, which is his wife in real life. Fun fact.
Yeah.
And then the Antichrist. And then the Antichrist shoots somebody in the conference room.
Okay, then I haven't seen this one.
You haven't seen it?
I've seen the first one.
That is the first one.
Oh, maybe I turned it off by this point.
All right. Well, anyway, I chose this film because it was super impactful for me.
Okay.
And I think it made a huge impact. I think the Left Behind series was really excellent.
Mhm.
I know there's different views on it.
Yeah.
And it's fictional, right? So it's based on scripture, but it's fictional.
Yeah.
That's the way I see it.
Yeah.
So we don't know exactly how things are going to happen,
Mhm.
but it was a great movie. So I think it had a big impact level and very rewatchable to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's
Cool.
fine. Cool.
All right. So my next one.
All right. I'm gonna eat a cookie while you talk.
All right. So my next one came out last year. And it's something that I went in the theater and saw, and I really enjoyed it. And when it came to streaming, I watched it and watched it again. Jesus Revolution.
Okay.
I thought it was really good. Some people have their opinions on Greg Laurie. I don't get along with those. Now, I don't see the same when it comes to Greg Laurie. I think that he's I never really talk about pastors that have done a lot of work because, you know, people's lives are so interwoven with so many other experiences. So I can't really feel like I can gauge what his life has been like. But I can tell you that his ministry has been around for many years,
Yeah.
affected so many people. I think in the body of Christ has done more good than bad, you know. And the same thing goes for Chuck Smith.
Okay.
And you know, and so I thought this movie did a really good job. I thought the acting was so great.
Oh yeah.
I love the acting in Jesus Revolution.
Excellent.
The dude, I can't think of his name, but I just call him Jesus. He played Lonnie Frisbee in the movie, and then he was also Jesus in The Chosen.
Yeah.
He's such a good actor. He's
Oh,
so
yeah.
well rounded.
He's great.
And so I thought Jesus Revolution, and I know it's rewatchable because I've already watched it 3 times. And you know me
Yeah.
in certain films. If I like it, then I like it. If I don't like it,
Then you don't.
I don't like it. Yeah, I don't like it. So I put Jesus Revolution on my top list.
That's good. I almost put Jesus Revolution.
Mhm.
I chose not to.
Why not?
Because I was going through, so I made a list, and then I was like, okay, do I think this one beats out this one? And I also wanted a variety. So I like variety. So I was like, well, this movie kind of hits on this movie hits on this kind of thing. Now that I'm thinking about one or two of my movies. I think maybe Jesus Revolution might beat out. It was a great film.
It was.
Definitely rewatchable. I think I've seen it twice. No, maybe I've only seen it once. I saw it in theaters.
Mhm.
What I loved about it personally is that one, it's literally in the area we live.
Yes.
Right. This happened. This
On our soil.
On our soil.
Yeah.
So it's cool. And like my mom grew up in that area
Mhm.
of Southern California.
Yeah.
And she said that she remembers being at like in a tent revival, like when this was a big thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if she was there with Lonnie,
Mhm.
but she was around, right? And
Yeah.
then my therapist, yes, I have a therapist. I think it's healthy. So you can
Yes, it
touch me,
is.
that's okay. My therapist, he said that there's that scene. I don't know if y'all have seen this. Hope it's not a spoiler. But
Spoiler for Jesus Revolution.
yeah.
Jesus wins at the end. Man, you ruined it.
Amen. Wow. The scene of the baptisms at
Oh yeah.
Pirates Cove.
Mm-hmm.
And there was do you remember there was a crippled
Yes.
man?
Yeah.
So my therapist was there,
Mm-hmm.
and he was two people behind the crippled guy.
Wow.
He said that was literally, he told me, he was like, I was sitting in the movie theater watching my childhood. Like that was his,
Mhm.
that was his life. Like
Yeah.
he was there and
Yeah.
experienced it. He was actually friends with, well, I don't know if he was like friends, but I know that he was in that circle. He knew Lonnie. He knew
Greg.
I was like, what's his name? Greg.
Yeah.
And he knew all of them. And so like he actually could talk about their lives and all that. And I thought that was so cool.
Yeah. And I think even for like you and I, a lot of what we know and how we approach ministry was birthed from a movement like Jesus Revolution. I think because I think the Calvary Chapels combined, it kind of bled over into the Assemblies of God, and the Assemblies of God bled into the PCOG. And so a lot of what we do and things that like there's a lot of familiarity watching that film.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's how we came through.
Yeah.
And so I appreciate the film. I thought it was a good film.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. Well, you do have a good list, Rohmon.
I have a great list.
Proud of you.
Did you watch Jesus Revolution?
No.
Well, why is he grading our list?
Do you watch movies?
Not Christian movies.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Okay. All right. So next on my list, I already knew Rohmon's gonna judge me on something.
I know it. Okay, I know what's going. I know what's happening.
No, it's not the one. I almost put that one on my list. I chose against it.
Okay,
although
good.
It's very impactful.
Thank God.
But this one, I think it is a great film. I'm going to preface it with this. Great film. It was more modern. It came out, I think, 2 years ago or something.
Okay.
And great acting. And yes, it is a musical.
Dang it. I was going to name this one. This was on my list.
A Week Away.
Yeah, it was on my list.
I canceled that one on your list. That's great. A Week Away is fan-freaking-tastic.
Week Away was great. One of the greatest movies of 2022.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. And I loved it. And
Hooray.
I've already seen it multiple times.
I have no idea how many times I've seen Week Away.
It doesn't get old.
It doesn't.
And it's amazing because like now me being 33 years old, my teenage years was listening to this music. It was like music from the 90s and early 2000s and these Christian artists that were big. That's the music in this film. And
it was such a great song.
Loved
great
that they pulled from those artists like Amy Grant, Stephen Curtis Chapman. Like it was great. It was fun.
Yes. Week Away was the moment they got on the bus and they started singing.
Yeah.
And the Great Adventure. Is that what it is? This is a great when they started singing that song, I was like, oh, this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be fun. And then they sang the Michael W. Smith Place in This World when they sang Dive.
That was one of my favorites. Dive was
that was great. I was in tears when they sang God Only Knows at the campfire.
Me too. I literally cried.
I cried. I bawled. And my kids started worshiping in the house.
Really?
Yes. Like
wow. But see, that's so cool.
Mhm.
That's so cool.
And it was such a good
Dang.
week away, and it's on Netflix. It's still on Netflix, so I still catch it.
See, I thought you were gonna make fun of me for this.
No,
Wow,
this is
that's
one of my
awesome.
favorite films.
It's amazing, and it makes me literally want to watch it again
Oh,
right now.
yeah.
Maybe I will tonight.
The acting is fun,
The acting is great.
and can I say this? It's a Netflix original.
Yeah.
So it took worldly people to make a very good quality Christian film.
Now I'm interested. What is it called?
A Week Away. It's so good.
It's
And one of my favorite actresses is the girl. I can't think of her name.
Oh yeah.
but-
I don't know her name, but I've actually been on set with her before.
She's incredible.
She's really great.
Even when she was little, she was such a powerhouse when she was
She's done big movies.
Yeah,
she
she's
did,
done Just Go With It.
Just Go With It.
She's
That was
the
one
daughter.
with Jennifer
Aniston
Yeah.
and Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
She was phenomenal in that one.
Yeah.
But the one that she impressed me the most was the one she did with Tobey Maguire and Natalie Portman and oh God,
I don't know if I've
Jake
seen it.
Gyllenhaal.
What is this movie?
The brothers or
What?
brothers or something
I've
like
not
that.
seen that.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
That's what it's called.
I think it's called. Is it Brothers?
Yeah.
Where she blows up and has that scene at the dinner table
Yeah.
with Tobey Maguire and Natalie Portman and Jake
What?
Gyllenhaal. I'm like, this girl is killing this role, and she's making her job. Her in the role in that scene, she has an explosion on Tobey Maguire and goes off on him
Wow.
and outs out everybody at the dinner table. And I'm like, every time I see that scene, I'm like tense up, like she is
Dang.
killing it. And at that time, what is she, 4? She's like 4 or 5 right there.
Oh my goodness. Some childhood actors are great. Like Dakota Fanning was one. She was one of my favorite childhood
I feel like
actors.
she's fell off a little bit.
She's still good, but maybe it's the roles she's played, or maybe I haven't seen all of her movies.
Maybe it's the roles.
But when she was a kid, like, oh my goodness.
What's the name of this girl?
I
On A
don't
Week
know her
Away.
name. I don't know her name.
Dang, she's so
Yeah.
good. She's so good.
Yeah, but it was great. And one of my favorite scenes was well, I have so many, but the campfire is honestly probably my favorite,
Mhm.
if I can be honest, because I did cry.
Yes.
And I cried
Bailey Madison.
Bailey Madison, yep. I've cried every time I've watched the movie. I've cried in that scene. And
Mhm.
I think because I connect
Yes.
with it so deeply.
Because that, again, that's where we came from.
Yeah.
Worshiping around campfires and
But
having
it's
those
not
God
just
moments.
that. It's not, well, yes, it's the God moment
Mhm.
that's happening, but it's him feeling so broken.
Yes.
And like,
And we've had that too.
and we learn about his brokenness,
Mhm.
and all of our brokenness is different.
Yeah.
But it's literally like God only knows.
Yep.
You know, and like,
And they blended it with Our God's an Awesome God, right?
oh yes, which has always been one of my favorite
That was a
songs. Rich
wonderful.
Mullins, which I was thinking about putting the movie Ragamuffin on the list.
Mhm.
He was. Have you seen that?
I haven't seen that one.
So it's about Rich Mullins' life.
Mhm.
I didn't put it on my list, but I think Rich Mullins is excellent. He's always been one of my favorites.
That was a great movie. Great
movie. Wow, I scored on that one.
You did. That was a good. Yeah. That movie was great.
Yeah.
All right. So my next one is, in my mind, a classic.
Okay.
Okay. It's one of those movies that sleeps under the radar. You know how there's movies that are like cult classics?
Yeah.
Like for me, Scott Pilgrim versus the World is a cult classic.
Yeah.
This is a Christian classic that people won't think about until they see it and they're like, oh yeah, and then they watch it again. It's hilarious for a Christian film.
Okay.
Patricia Heaton produced it, wrote it. Mom's Day Off.
I haven't seen it.
Mom's Day Off is so freaking hilarious.
Really?
It's and when I saw the commercial, I remember seeing the trailer and I was like, ugh, another Christian film. And I rented it from the Redbox
Okay.
years ago. And I watched it and I was like, this is kind of funny. And then I watched it again and I was like, no, this is funny. And I liked it so much, I bought the DVD. It's in my house.
Wow.
Mom's Day Off. It's not starring Patricia Heaton. You know who she is, right?
Yeah, she's from Everybody
Loves Raymond.
Yeah.
She's on this film, but she's got some actors that are like Sean Astin's in it. Hilarious. I can't think of who the other girls were, but it's about a mom who's just had too much, and so she wants to go hang out with her girlfriends for the night.
I don't know. Maybe I did.
And
see
Patricia
it.
Heaton is the pastor's wife, and they go to a restaurant. But then while that's happening, Sean Astin loses control of the kids, and
I think I have seen.
he gets
it.
hurt, goes to the hospital. Then one kid comes up missing, and then they can't find a baby, and they had
Okay.
to try to track down the baby.
Okay.
It's hilarious, and I think it deserves recognition.
Okay.
I think top 10 may be stretch, but for rewatchability, Christian films are really bad at comedy.
Yeah.
They're really bad at comedy,
Yeah.
and it's kind of tongue in cheek. But I think Mom's Day Off, it's a very solid film.
Yeah.
Solid film, and it drives the point home at the end without it being preachy.
Okay. Yeah.
Good
And
film.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that. I think I have seen it because when you were describing the movie, I was like, you know what? I do remember that.
Where they had to go to the tattoo, where they realize, and they go
yeah.
to see the tattoo guy. The tattoo guy is like, "Who would bring a baby to a tattoo parlor?"
Yeah.
That's weird, bro.
I do. Yeah. Yeah. See, I need to rewatch it because I watched it so long ago.
Mm-hmm.
Some movies you almost have to see again to
appreciate it.
Yeah.
And that's Mom's Day Off.
Okay.
If you watch Mom's Day Off before, give it a shot, give it another watch. Because the second time, it's one of those movies where the second and third time around, it's funnier.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Good to know. Okay,
Mhm.
that's a good one. Good one.
Especially if you're a mom. Moms would love this movie. Especially if you're a
Yeah.
stressed out mom going through a lot. This movie speaks to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Courageous.
I know very well we could not do this show and not mention the Kendrick brothers.
We had to mention. I had to pick a Kendrick brother film.
I
just
knew
did.
it was going to happen. We could
Yeah.
not get through this episode without mentioning those brothers.
Yeah. I think they make great films. I don't always think the acting is great, but I think some like the leads do pretty good for the most part.
For the most part.
But see, I was having a hard time deciding which one. So I love Facing the Giants. I do.
I hate.
I know you do.
Oh, Skip.
But when I really think about all in all of like what I think is a great faith-based film, I don't think it would make top 10 for me, but close. Like it had a huge impact. Like when that movie came out, people went
You're talking about
crazy.
Facing the Giants.
Facing the Giants.
Okay.
So I'm just giving a little,
Mhm.
shout out to that one. But really, it was between Fireproof and Courageous to me.
Mhm.
And then I rewatched the little like preview clip of Courageous because I was like, I need a little refresher. I remember loving it,
Mhm.
and I was in tears watching the preview. And I was like, I remember why I loved it so much, but I just haven't. I think I only saw it once.
See, here's okay. Keep going.
And so like I'm like, I want to watch it again. Like, it is rewatchable for me, absolutely.
Yeah.
I just haven't chosen to rewatch it yet.
It's hard for me to rewatch an emotionally charged film.
Oh,
So Courageous is emotionally charged. So that's hard for me to rewatch it because then to go through that thing again. And when we first saw
makes sense.
Courageous, we didn't have families. I didn't have kids.
Yeah.
And it was emotionally charged.
Yeah.
Now there's no way. There's no
Yeah.
way I'm watching this again.
Well, see, that makes sense, but that's why I don't think you can just like rate faith-based films based on rewatchability because it can be an amazing, great film that's hitting a really hard topic or multiple, and you may not be able to rewatch it, not because of the quality of the film or the acting or the story, but because of the emotional side of it.
Yeah. I feel like, first of all, Kendrick brothers are great.
Oh,
Okay.
yes.
Second to none when it comes to getting really good films.
Yes.
And the progression of their films are
Oh.
just incredible.
It's really cool
So,
to watch, actually,
yeah.
the progression.
So I was in that same, when I put my list together, I sat long and hard about Courageous.
Okay.
And you said it was between Fireproof and Courageous. For me, it was Courageous and Flywheel.
I knew you were going to say Flywheel.
Because I thought Flywheel was great, but Fireproof was Fireproof was great, but it's too on the nose for me.
It's very on the nose.
It's too on the nose for me.
But it's such an important topic.
It
I
is.
think they handled it well.
They did, but it was too on the nose for me. And
And I
Courageous,
love Kirk Cameron.
I love the risk because Courageous they had heavy risk on there. We're
Yeah.
gonna action.
Yeah.
we're gonna add suspense to this story,
Mhm.
and we're gonna add comedy. And Fireproof had comedy and Flywheel had comedy, but not the comedy Courageous had.
Right. Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah. They
But
did-
even then, I thought that comedy was kind of tongue in cheek, so that it was a funny, but it was a miss for me on Courageous.
Okay.
And then what took it off the list for me was the speech at the end.
Yeah.
I will. That was too.
It was a little cheesy.
It was
a
cheesy,
little
and it was
lactose, like we
preachy,
like to call
and it
it.
wasn't preachy. Yeah, it was lactose. It wasn't preachy until the end.
Yeah.
When now he didn't change the paper, so now he's getting the promotion. Like, you're pulling. Like,
Yeah.
that was.
Yeah. Okay.
But in all due respect, good selection. I think that's a great selection.
I think for
We
me,
can't have a top 10 without the Kendricks. That's
no, we couldn't.
absolutely not.
I love Fireproof.
Mhm.
But the reason why, because I haven't gone through my whole list yet.
Mhm.
I like when films and faith-based films, I like when they hit hard subjects
Mhm.
and like they go deep. And I also like when it's a little unique and when it's something that you haven't really seen before.
Yeah.
And I have not seen a faith-based film that I can recall that talks about manhood and fatherhood and even being a husband
Mhm.
on that level. Like, just a well-rounded, like, what kind of man do you want to be? What
Yeah.
kind of man, like godly man, do you want to be? And
Yeah.
I just think they did a good job in talking about courage.
Did you watch
what is
Overcomers?
courage? Overcomers?
That was the most recent one they did.
No, I haven't seen it.
Oh, okay. I don't know what the fascination is between Christian films and sport films. Like, they love doing, but
Yeah, they
Overcomers
do.
is like a running race,
Oh, ooh.
like long distance country.
Is it on anything? A streaming service?
It probably is Pureflix maybe or something. But
I'm gonna have to look into that.
yeah,
I would love to see it. I like their movies, but I don't remember seeing any movie they did after Courageous.
yeah, Overcomers.
Oh, this is the
This
only one?
I think this is the only one.
Okay.
I think they've started doing other projects and stuff like that. Bryce, did you watch Courageous?
That's
All
okay.
right, that's okay.
We still love you, Rice.
I don't know how you're gonna rate this list, but my next one, I'm going back in the crates now.
Okay.
You watch this with me.
Okay.
Um,
Wait, can I say something?
mhm.
Flywheel.
That was
Okay.
great.
It was great at the end, and I need to rewatch it probably because
Okay.
I don't remember all of it. But I remember sitting through that whole movie thinking like, and I'm sorry, Kendrick Brothers, like, you guys did a great job for your first film.
Mm.
You did. If you ever watch this, but like it was a great story. Just because of their budget, they were limited,
Yeah.
and so with what they had,
Yes.
they did a good job.
Yeah.
But the acting was not that great.
Well, the acting wasn't great, but to your point, with what they had to work with, they put together a quality film.
Yeah, they did.
The story was good enough where everything that was because of budget or acting was
Mhm.
forgivable to me.
It was, because in the end, I remember like it all came together, and we
Yeah.
watched it together.
Yes, and forgetting that this is a low budget film.
Yeah, we were all like, oh,
We're watching this movie like, oh, this is
so
good.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's why my choice was between Flywheel,
Yeah.
because without Flywheel, there's no Fireproof.
So did you pick a Kendrick Brother film?
No, I did not,
Oh, okay. What
because
were
it was either going to be Courageous or not at all,
you
and
saying?
the I will made it not
Okay.
at all.
Okay. Well, cool.
All
Okay.
right.
Sorry. Continue.
Okay, so my next one, this is another one that we saw together back in 2009, I believe, and my mom made us watch it, and I was like, ugh. But then after the end of it,
put it on my list.
I was like, this is a great movie. Faith Like Potatoes.
Oh, I was thinking of a different movie that came out
Oh.
that same year.
Oh no, Faith Like Potatoes. Do you remember Faith Like Potatoes?
Yes, I had forgotten about Faith Like
Faith Like Potatoes was, first of all, I will say, first time watching it, I didn't like it because mom made us watch it.
Yeah, you're just strange.
I don't like that. And it was grueling. Like, watching it the first time was grueling. But then when I watched it again, I'm like, what a freaking story.
I haven't watched it again.
It's a great story.
And I would like to, because I think the TV was a little messed up when we watched it. It was that TV that had the like,
Yeah.
it constantly moved a little bit or
Yes.
something.
Yeah. So good.
But yeah, so I need to rewatch it.
Yeah. Faith Like Potatoes is a gem. Like if
It was
you,
good. I do remember
it
that.
was a gem, and it really, and that's based off a true story too, I believe.
Yeah, I think so.
And it was like I remember watching it, thinking, man, can you imagine faith like this?
Yeah.
That he's believing God for potatoes, but not the season for it, and he planted, and you can't dig up the soil until it's time. And then all the stuff he went through with his daughter dying
Yeah.
on the tractor.
Yeah.
Just, I was like, man.
Intense.
And it wasn't preachy because it just let the story speak for itself.
Mhm.
And I was like, it's kind of like a Lifetime movie,
Yeah.
right? A little bit like a
Yeah.
Lifetime movie, but it got the job done.
Yeah.
It was almost more like a Hallmark film than it was a Lifetime movie.
Yeah.
But I thought Faith Like Potatoes should be on this list.
I need to rewatch that. I remember that.
Mhm.
Yeah. Can it will be a honorable mention later, I guess.
Mm.
But should I mention the one that I thought you were gonna say?
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say Not Easily Broken
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
because your mom also had us watch that.
The same year.
I think it was the same
It
year.
was the same year.
And
Was that Kevin Hart in that?
yes, it was Kevin Hart, it was Morris Chestnut, and it was Taraji P. Henson.
That was Taraji
Great cast. I love Taraji.
and Jennifer Lewis,
Jennifer Lewis,
who's so
yes.
classy. I love
Oh,
her.
She's
Hilarious.
amazing.
But
I love
she
her
did great.
too.
Yeah.
Great film, and
That
that
was
was
a good
that
film.
was the TD Jakes film.
That was a TD Jakes.
Yeah, but I liked that one.
That was good.
But that almost made my list, but it
Mm.
didn't.
That's
was
a close one too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Faith Like Potatoes. Okay,
Yeah.
Roman.
Yes.
All right. This is good.
Mhm.
When did
We should. This
start?
did I start?
No, when did we start? I don't know what our time is like.
Oh, I don't know.
Okay. Well, that's okay.
It's blocking, so I
We
don't know.
just hit the hour.
Oh, we just hit the hour,
Okay.
so we're good.
Okay, cool. What were you about to say?
I thought you meant like what number are we on?
Oh, okay. No.
Is this your fourth?
This is my my
Okay.
fourth. So this one, I don't know if you've seen it,
Okay.
and this is a different kind of a faith-based film.
Okay.
The Heart of Man. Have you
Oh,
seen it?
So
this movie, excellent. I think every adult should watch this movie. I do not think it's for children. It's adult topics, but it is an illustration film. So it's like there's a story, but then there's interviews with people. So it's almost like a documentary style, but then you have this picture coming to life, like literally they acting, like a story, but all the talking is interviews. And like Jackie Hill Perry's on there. Matthew, what's his name? The guy who wrote The Shack.
yeah, I don't know him.
Okay.
I don't know his name.
Well, anyway, he was on there, but it's all about, it's talks about a lot, but it's about like lust and sexual integrity and all of that. But it's these people sharing their stories of infidelity, of, cheating on their spouses and God bringing them through. And like, I don't know, it's so powerful. It's so powerful. And it's just a beautiful story about God's grace and with that specific topic, but it's called The Heart of Man.
Oh.
And I recommend it. I think it was done so well. It was put together like supreme.
Yeah.
That's a good way to
Supreme.
I know, I don't know. That's all right.
It was so supreme.
It was great. It was great. I recommend it. And it's it's a heart wrencher. But it's real, and these are real people. So it is like documentary kind of, but then there's that illustration where you literally see this beautiful story unfolding before your eyes of like this illustration of what they're talking about.
Yeah.
So it's good.
Cool.
It's good.
Yeah. All right. So this is a good list. We
Yeah.
both have some good stuff
A little
here.
different. Yeah.
So I have to go to my alternate because my number 5 was a week away.
Okay.
So I had to go to my alternate, and which is cool because I think this alternate is one of those Christian films that has split decision. You either love it or you hate it.
Oh.
And I actually on the side of I actually loved it
Okay.
to the point where I was defending it to a lot of people. And so a week away had to be taken off the list. So I went to my number 1 alternative. And I think you'll like this one. Redeeming Love.
That was my number 5.
Ah,
yes! Dang it!
Yes.
And I 10,000% agree with you.
Redeeming Love.
I love the Redeeming
Great
Love.
movie. It was
Now, I read the book.
Okay.
So I read the book twice.
Uh-huh.
That's how much I love the story. I read the book twice, and it's not a small book.
Yeah.
The movie did it justice, which
Yeah.
I was shocked because a lot of the time that's not the case.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful film. I can let you talk about it first. And then-
Okay. No, Redeeming Love was just from first shot to last shot.
Yep.
Kept my attention.
Yep.
I'm watching this thing all the way through. And if you take your preconceived ideas and leave them at home
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
just watch the film,
Yeah.
you see a beautiful story of redemption.
Mm.
You see a story of how God loves us.
Yeah.
You actually, I know it's a fiction story, but it's based off of Hosea.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So then you're looking at this film, you're like, this is how probably Hosea went through this thing.
I think wasn't that even his name in the movie?
I think so.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't know what her name was, but it was close to Gomer. But it was like,
On what it is.
yeah, but it was like the things he had to go through and the things he did to keep going to get this woman it was beautiful.
Yeah.
And so people had, I guess, a lot of the preconceived notions in the people's battles had to do with the sex scene in the film.
Yeah.
And I have a completely different idea when I see that, because when they showed her intimacy with strangers, I'm spoiling it now, it's shot differently.
Yeah.
As opposed to when it's with her husband. It was a beautiful,
Mhm.
it was how they shot it was beautiful.
And they didn't show too much.
They didn't show enough.
Like,
That's not what I meant.
They didn't show
They didn't show enough. I want to see everything.
So I'll be honest, like there's a scene, and I really appreciated this, and clearly y'all watching. I don't know why I've been saying y'all. I never say that. in
Y'all.
regular language. Everybody watching or listening to this show, you can tell that Rohmon and I have probably very different views compared to a lot of believers, maybe even in just what is in the church realm. So bear with us, but we like to be real and honest and what we've experienced. I'm not trying to speak for you, but I know for me what I've experienced in life and like God's grace and his mercy, and also just walking by faith in the seasons that I have. I can't say I always walk by faith.
Yeah.
But I'll be real about that.
Yeah.
But seeing God move on all of that, like it changes you. It changes you, and it just gives you a different view compared to what you were just taught or brought up with, or what maybe some preachers preach from the pulpit. So yeah. So anyway, I say all that to say, what I'm about to say is a little controversial, but there's a scene towards the beginning when I think it's when he either first goes to see her at the brothroom.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to have spoil alerts, but you
should have watched the movie at this point.
So, if not, it's still worth watching. Believe me, it's incredible. But it shows her topless. However, she's covered. Her hair covers her.
Yes.
So you see, like maybe I think a little side boob, and that's what you see. But what I loved about that is that it was very raw and real. And it wasn't the fact that it was risque. That's not why I loved it. I appreciated the realness of it. They didn't try to cover it up. They made it appropriate. They didn't have nudity. But it was also like he's going into a brothel. He's going to see a prostitute. Not to do that action with the prostitute, but he's going into her realm. And that's what we see. So it's really, really cool. So I agree with you. I think the sex scene with her and her husband later on in the film, I think is very beautiful. It's very
and I think it was
intimate.
And I think that's what it was, that this was the first time she experienced sex, but it was her first time experiencing intimacy. And so people were like, well, did it have to be shown? I said, it had to be shown.
It did have to be shown.
It had to be shown.
And it's interesting, and I'm going to dive a little deeper because, again, I read the book twice. The book has more details, but he had never had sex before.
Right.
He was a virgin.
Yes.
She's had lots of sex.
Yes.
but she's never experienced intimacy.
Yes.
So like it's this man who has this relationship with God so much to where he listens to God and hears who his wife is supposed to be,
Yes.
and then makes that happen, is faithful to that. And when he's finally able to be intimate with his wife, who he is very well aware has had sex with many, many men,
Mm-hmm.
you know, like he's experiencing both the intimacy and the sex, and she's experiencing the intimacy and also almost his innocence, in a sense of like, she's so used to all these men that just take advantage of her
Yeah.
and just want to
One
get
thing from her.
Yeah, they want one thing and they just want to be pleasured,
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah.
And really give nothing.
Yeah.
They just take.
Absolutely.
And this man is giving and giving and giving.
And then when she runs away, goes finds her, and it's just
yeah.
the whole movie is
Mm.
a picture of Jesus' love for us.
Yeah, it's incredible.
It's a great story.
And there's a scene where she's at the river. Huh? I'm not going to talk
The
about
river scene, yeah,
because it's too good. I don't want to spoil it.
and we'll kill it because we will hype it up.
Yeah,
But that river scene was great scene.
When I read the book,
Mhm.
I cried reading that scene.
Yeah.
And so to see how they did it in the movie, like I was really pleased. You
It was a
know?
good film.
It was good.
Definitely deserves to be on this list. And I'm glad I took it from you.
Yeah.
So now you gotta go to your alternative. This is your last one, right? Because that was my last one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's hard because I have just a list of other movies. I
Mhm.
didn't have like a specific
You-
alternative.
Did you see Redeeming Love, Bryce?
Nope.
Have you seen any of these movies yet?
I don't think so.
Nope.
Yeah, okay. That's okay. So let's see. This is so hard. I think I'm gonna have to pick. I almost picked Facing the Giants.
I'm so glad you didn't.
I think I'm gonna pick. Why is this so hard? It's hard because I already had my list and I was happy with it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I think I have to pick The Shack.
Okay.
And the reason why is because it's a film, it's hard to watch because of the story.
Yeah, it sits up there with Courageous.
Yeah.
Because it's emotionally taxing.
Absolutely. It's very emotionally taxing. But it's so unique because of his encounter with God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit. And it was a very controversial book when it came out. We had, like, I guess you could call them Christian celebrities, people who were very well known in the Christian world that were for the book, like they would promote it.
Mhm.
But then there were people who were like so against it
Mhm.
because of the fact that God was portrayed as a woman, a
Mhm.
black woman.
Black woman.
But I think that's two things right there, right? Woman
Mhm.
and black woman,
Mhm.
you know. So it was very controversial,
Mhm.
I think. But it challenges us in our thinking. And I think that's why I loved it.
Yeah.
Because it challenges our beliefs. And it's like, okay, well, why? I'm a little nervous, I guess you could say, to go too deep into this because I don't have like a huge, I'm not great at debating. But it really challenged the thought of like, why do we picture God as a man?
Right.
Right.
Yes.
And I don't believe the book or the film is saying that God is a woman.
Right.
In fact, I think there's even lines in the film where she says something like that.
Mhm.
Like,
I'm neither.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the point. But I think it also was showing that God doesn't, like, a lot of the times we see, you know, it's God the Father, yes, but he also has attributes of a mother.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was just really
That's true.
beautiful. Like, you know, there's those, what's the term? Maternal qualities,
Yeah.
you could say that. And it was, I mean, Octavia Spencer.
She killed it.
She's amazing.
Yeah.
But she killed it, and she
Mhm.
was great. But yeah, I don't know. I really appreciated the fact that it challenges everyone who watches it.
Yeah.
It challenges our beliefs, our faith, and then just how this man was transformed by his encounter with each one. He spends time with God, he
Mhm.
spends time with Jesus, and he spends time with the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
And this whole healing process that takes place.
It was a great.
It was great.
I'm pretty sure you've read the book.
I have read the
Okay,
book
'cause-
before the movie.
Yeah, so you have appreciation for these films
I
because you
do.
read the movie.
Yes.
I mean, because you read the book.
Yeah,
I thought the movie was. It is rewatchable too.
it is.
I've seen it maybe 3 times.
Okay.
Um,
Which is interesting. You can rewatch that, but you can't rewatch.
I can't rewatch it. It comes on TBS,
Okay.
so I just don't change the channel,
Oh, okay.
and so I check out on the hard stuff.
Oh, okay. Got it.
And just as recently as maybe 6 weeks ago, it was on TV,
Oh.
and I'm cooking, and I'm listening to it, and there was one of the dialogues that he had with God after the scene where he walks on the water.
Mm.
He has another conversation where he kind of goes back to, why did you let this happen?
Mhm.
And I remember thinking in the writing part of it, I'm listening to the dialogue and I'm in the other room cooking, and I go, this conversation is so real that so many people have this conversation.
Mm.
And I'm having a hard time listening to it because I'm like, that's how I sound sometimes.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's a movie that can't be overseen. You can't oversee this. And I don't know. And I debated putting it on my list because I'm not quite sure if I would categorize it as Christian, because it seemed to be so mainstreamed on the
Yeah.
push of it. I don't know if the author was a Christian author,
Yeah.
or you know what I'm saying. So
yeah, he is. He's
Okay.
a Christian author.
so I just didn't know. So
It's definitely a faith-based film, but I think the cool thing about this author is I think he wrote it in a way that it was a little more mainstream.
yeah,
You know.
it was very mainstream, but it's still a good film.
But it's still, I mean, God,
yeah.
Jesus, the Holy
Yeah.
Spirit, like,
Yeah.
you know.
And no other religion is in this film.
No, yeah,
So.
it's definitely faith-based.
Okay, so that's our 10.
Yeah.
That's our 10. So do your 5 again in order, real quick.
Okay. Well, again, this
I'll do
isn't
mine.
any
I'll do
spec-
mine so you can gather yours.
Well,
Oh, what's your
no,
5
I
again?
have mine.
Oh, okay.
But I'm saying it's not any specific
Right,
order.
right. Just
But
with
I have Left Behind, A Week Away, Courageous, The Heart of Man, and The Shack.
I have To Save a Life, Jesus Revolution, Mom's Day Off, Faith Like Potatoes, and Redeeming Love.
Good.
All right.
That's a great list.
It's a great list. Now I have 2 alternatives, so we'll use them as our honorable mentions. I only have 2.
Okay.
I Still Believe.
Is that the Jeremy Camp one?
Uh-huh.
Okay, yeah, I had that one too.
I Still Believe, and The Passion of Christ.
I have that one too.
Yeah. I
was debating on putting it on the list, but I don't know why.
Me too.
It didn't.
It was just like, you're not gonna make it.
Yeah.
But
It was great.
Ugh.
It was great.
and it's rewatchable and it's emotionally jarring.
Yeah. Well, and like it is the story of Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
You know.
And when you get to
And-
the end of it, I remember when I first watched it in theaters,
Mhm.
I remember sitting and looking at the credits and just like, because
Yeah.
what do you say when
Yeah.
you see a picture?
I never
that-
saw it in the theater,
Oh,
and I've only seen it once,
Mhm.
and I was a teenager by myself at home at night watching this film.
oh, jeez.
I don't know why I did that, but I would like to rewatch it again. But I heard that everyone I knew that saw it in the movie theater, they said that it was just silent.
It was
at the end,
dead
like,
silent.
dead. Silent.
Nobody moved.
Yeah.
Nobody. Even
Yeah.
I mean, the credits have been up for like 2-3 minutes.
Mhm.
Nobody's moving. No one's saying nothing.
Yeah.
It's dead quiet.
It's heavy.
It's heavy.
It's heavy.
And me and the person I was dating, we were sitting there. We just,
And like Mel Gibson did this movie.
yeah.
Like how cool is that?
Mhm.
I don't know. There's only one movie I can recall going to, not faith-based, but that it was silent at the end.
Mhm.
And so it's always kind of what I compare that to, because I didn't go to see that in the movies,
Mhm.
but it was $1 Million Baby.
Jeez.
And that movie, everybody was dead silent at the
Oh
end.
my God. $1 million baby.
If you've
All right.
seen it, you know why.
Yes. All right. What's your honorable mention?
Okay. So Well, should I just list my whole
Yeah,
list?
yeah.
Okay. So honorable mentions: Passion of the Christ was on there. Not Easily Broken. The Shift, which is recent.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
I
And
did.
I put money into it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I
Oh.
supported it.
I liked it. I put Jeremy Camp movie because I couldn't remember what it was called.
Oh yeah, I still
I
believe
still
it.
believe that was really good. It was so good. And I remember when that was going on.
Yeah.
Like I was a kid and I remember Jeremy Camp going through that.
Yeah, youth groups were praying for him.
Yeah. It was huge. So
Yeah.
that was really cool. I Can Only Imagine.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they did a good job with that film. And Dennis Quaid was in it. And I mean, Soul Surfer. That should be on this list. That's faith-based.
Soul Surfer. Okay.
It's a true story,
Mm-hmm.
but I would say it's faith. She's a believer,
Okay.
right?
Mhm.
Anyway, I didn't write that, but that was a great film. Dennis Quaid was in that one too. Prayer Room.
Hate Prayer Room.
See, I saw it once and I remember liking it, not loving it,
Mhm.
but I was just kind of jotting down films as they came to my
Yeah,
mind.
I'm not saying I hate Prayer Room.
I need to give it a second chance.
I've given it a second and
Okay.
third chance. I don't like it.
My
at all.
wife loves it.
I don't like it at all.
Okay.
I don't like it at all. It's absolutely not a good movie to me.
Interesting. Okay.
I have so many things about it that I don't like.
Yeah. I won't have you say them now,
Okay.
but I
Yeah.
definitely want to hear them later.
Yeah. Fair
Okay.
enough.
What else? Oh, Facing the Giants.
Don't quit.
And-
I saw that with you.
Yeah. And then I love that movie.
It's
But
so
there-
cheesy.
It is cheesy, but there's moments where I'm like, that's just such a vulnerable moment with God, like, and I that's the thing about the Kendrick brother movies is they do that. They have like moments where they're crying out to God.
Yeah.
And I like that because it shows it's like a lot of us in our own private space, we do cry out to God. I've had those moments.
Yeah, and I get that. But under the backdrop of football,
Yeah, but it was so much more than just football.
I know, but they use football as the backdrop. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
but it was him coaching this team. His whole life was falling apart. They wanted to fire him.
Yeah.
And
And they should have.
Well, they should have, sure.
Yeah.
But like him and his wife couldn't get pregnant.
Yeah.
Like all these things were happening. And I think the story was more along the lines of his life falling apart.
If the story was delved in realism and this team just sucked, but God honored him, it's a different story, better story. If the kicker's name is not David and they're playing against the Giants,
I mean,
and the dad gets up off the wheelchair at the goalpost, I was like, this is so and doing this, that was so awful. Josiah, I'm watching this thing like clearly these people have never seen football.
yeah.
Like,
but yes, okay. I'll give all of that to you.
okay,
It was very cheesy and it was very like direct, like
it was on the nose.
on the nose.
It was very on the
I
nose.
agree.
But it was their second film.
It was their second film.
It was their second film.
And there were just some really good moments. And I think it also showed that, like, once he started to be more faithful, not to his wife, he was faithful to his wife, but
Faithful to God.
to God.
The football team got better.
The football team got better.
I don't like that.
But I think, it didn't get better just because of his faithfulness to God. It got better because he actually started leading his team.
Yeah.
He actually started coaching
Mhm.
with a different kind of authority
Right.
and being led by God.
It just didn't translate for me.
Okay.
Because I always think about, what if I played for the Giants and we work hard all off season and we're undefeated,
Yeah.
and then we go play this team, and just because he gave his life to Jesus, we lose.
Yeah. I mean,
It's like
it's not just because
I know it's not just because I know. It's
I
not
think it was
because.
just showing how when we work on ourselves, and that
Yes.
includes our faithfulness to our Creator,
Mhm.
that things do change.
Yeah.
We change and things around us change. And when people see the change happening,
Mhm.
then they also change. Like the part where the father of one of the football players he was one who wanted to get him fired.
Mhm.
And when he started to see all these changes, he bought him a truck
Yeah, it was too tiny.
and left it to him anonymously.
Yeah.
And I know that seems like far-fetched, but that stuff happens.
It does happen. It
and
does.
it shows that he started seeing the changes that was taking place in this man's life, and it changed him.
I just feel like if you, it's a stretch, but if Facing the Giants was a comedy, it's a great movie.
Okay, moving on. I'm not gonna
Because it's the same film. It's the same film as
Rohmon.
Little Giants, except you add Jesus to it.
Little Giants was a great movie.
Because it kept it comedy.
No, it's different.
It's not.
It's different.
You just add God to it. You add God to Little Giants, you get Facing the Giants.
no.
Yes, it is. Because there's no other way in the world this football team would have beat those boys. Those boys were tough. But Facing the Giants, there was no way they were going to beat the Cowboys in that film. But because it's comedy and they believed in themselves, they won. I can accept that a lot more than the kid whose name is David kicking the game-winning field goal when his dad sitting in the wheelchair and stands up and throws his hands in the air.
Okay. Okay. Moving on.
Okay.
So I don't know if this movie is faith-based,
Uh-huh.
but it's new. It's in the theaters right now,
Okay.
and I just saw it, and it's called Ordinary Angels.
Okay. I've heard somebody tell me about
starring
it.
Hilary Swank.
Somebody else told me about this movie.
Okay. Great movie based on a true story.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's faith-based, but I just wanted to mention it. I think it's really good.
Yeah.
And then
It's a sad story.
Yes.
And the person who told me everything, even the spoiler. And I was like, what a horrible existence.
No, you need to see it.
I know I need to see it.
You need to see it and get your own opinion.
Okay.
And for the record, I usually don't tell Rohmon anymore what movies he needs to see because when I tell him, he won't see them.
Well, look, Redeeming Choice was the last thing you told me to go watch.
What was that?
Redeeming Choice.
Redeeming Love?
Redeeming Love.
Oh, okay.
That was one of the last ones you told me to go see. And I remember coming out of there calling you. I'm like, okay, I watched it. I liked it.
Okay, that's true.
And Week Away.
Oh, and a week away, yeah.
Okay.
See, you've grown. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And then another one that we can say, what are the definitions of, and we're going way over, we need to end this soon.
Yeah.
But what is the definition of a faith-based film? It could be, is the storyline faith-based? Is the author a believer, a Christian? I don't know.
What are you
So
talking
I would
about?
say Lord of the Rings.
No, this show's officially
Lord
over.
of the Rings.
The show's
are
officially done.
Great movies.
Lord of the Rings.
All three of them are phenomenal.
Then why not Star Wars? Why not Dune?
Because
these movies are the same.
no,
They're all the same.
no. But the author of Lord of the Rings was a Christian.
Steven Spielberg is Jewish. So does that make Indiana Jones a Christian film?
Well, a lot of Jewish. I don't know too much. I don't want to like misquote, but I know there's Jewish people that don't believe that Jesus
is the Messiah.
Is the Messiah.
Right,
So
but
that's
in
not
the Last Crusade,
Christian.
they're calling him the Messiah. This is the cup of the Messiah.
Yeah,
So does that make Indiana Jones Christian?
maybe it is. That was a great movie too, Indiana Jones.
Dune.
How is that faith-based?
I don't know, but a lot of Christians are saying there's so pictures of God in Dune.
People say that about Harry Potter too. I think they do. Now, I'm not gonna bash that. I really enjoy the Harry Potter books. They're amazing, and the movies were really good. I think when I read the books, I got so much wisdom. I was like, a lot of
Harry Potter?
Out of Harry Potter, a lot of like Dumbledore's like speeches and things that he says in the book. I wish I remembered a certain quote because I highlighted it. I was like, this is amazing, and I want to remember this forever. But it's so powerful, and I was like, wow, I can really relate this to my faith. But I don't believe it was a faith-based film, and I don't believe that was the intention. And I don't think the story really shows that.
Are we talking about Harry Potter?
Harry Potter.
Okay.
So I don't think that. about
I've never
Harry
seen a
Potter.
Harry Potter movie.
Well,
ever.
You should read the books at least.
I definitely will not do that. You know what they need to do? They need to make a movie of This Present Darkness. A modern, grungy, grimy.
That would be great. Have
Heritage
you read the
Park.
book?
I read Red.
That has nothing to do with This Present Darkness.
I know. but
How do you even know what this Present Darkness is about?
because I've studied it. Because people, when I had the script for Chair and I let the people see the chair, they're like, "This is like This Present Darkness,"
It is very.
and I
Similar.
did read the synopsis of it. I don't think it's the same.
I mean, it's different. It's just dealing with demons and angels.
Yeah,
This Present Darkness was great. Piercing the Darkness was the sequel.
Yeah.
I don't think I got through it all the way, but great books.
So on closing on this note, we didn't mention that should have been mentioned.
What?
Prince of Egypt.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's 2 movies coming out soonish
Yeah.
that I think might end up on my list.
Hmm.
And that is another animated film,
The David one.
the David one.
That looks interesting.
Looks so good.
Yeah.
And then the movie about the life of Rebecca St. James.
That looks good.
That looks so good.
I don't know why I thought you were going to talk about the tennis one with Zendaya. I said that's not faith based, but it looks great.
That is not at all faith-based.
But does it not look good?
Not to me. I am not.
But then I love Zendaya.
Yeah.
She can't do wrong to me.
Yeah. Okay.
It looks like it's going to be cringy though. Like it's going to
Yeah.
be awkward and raw.
Yeah. Very raw and raunchy.
Yeah. I'm here for
It
it.
already says it's graphic nudity in that one.
Well, I mean,
So-
if you watch Poor Things, you. So what do you think? You don't know. Rice is not even paying attention to us. Were you Googling the movies we were saying them? No.
I was Googling something.
Okay. Do you watch Prince of Egypt?
I did.
Do you like that one? Okay, so we got him on that.
That
one.
was good, but that should have been on the list.
It should have probably been
Yeah.
on
But
the
then
list.
you're gonna mention Prince of Egypt and then
Joseph.
King of Dreams.
I think Prince of Egypt was a lot better than Joseph. But Joseph was good.
I don't think I saw Joseph.
Also, I mean, the thing is, you're talking about like Christian.
Yes.
I was thinking of stuff like obviously Lord of the Rings, Narnia.
Narnia.
I was thinking of obviously Passion of the Christ, Kingdom of Heaven, Hacksaw Ridge.
Hacksaw Ridge.
Oh,
That would work. That
What
would
about the-
count.
If you ask me, Hacksaw Ridge is number 1.
Hacksaw Ridge.
You know what?
Hmm.
Thank
I can't
you,
be mad
Rice.
at you. I can't be mad at that.
Thank you for that, Rice, because I don't know if I'd put it as number 1, but I would put it in the top list because Hacksaw Ridge was a great film.
Yeah. And you're talking about like Andrew Garfield here.
Well, he's amazing, yes, but it was so well done and such a powerful story and a true story. And it is faith-based because he was a man of faith.
Mhm.
So yeah, absolutely.
There was
Good
another one.
right?
There's another one I was thinking of, and I was like, oh, we didn't talk about it. The God's Not Dead series.
Yeah,
But I'm not
they,
really.
They wouldn't be on my top, but I do like them.
This is the one I
they-
thought you were gonna say.
they
I
deserve
thought
an
you were gonna.
honorable
I
mention.
thought you were gonna say Unbroken.
Oh, that was good.
I thought you were gonna mention Unbroken too.
Unbroken was very good.
Yeah.
It was very good.
hmm
How about The Life of Pi?
I don't know. Is that Christian?
No,
Oh,
but it talks a lot about religion. I'm reading the book right now. Actually.
okay. Because I was like,
There's lots of religion in it,
mhm.
but I wouldn't say it's a Christian film.
Bruce Almighty.
Wait, did I see that? I think I did.
You know, you seen Bruce
I think
Almighty?
I've seen it.
Bruce Almighty's not a Christian film, but if I think Bruce Almighty should be in something that if you're a Christian filmmaker and you want to make Christian films, Bruce Almighty is a good movie to look at
Yeah. Yeah.
because it didn't take itself too seriously and it didn't portray God in a spooky way,
Yeah.
right? It portrayed God as like there's lines that Morgan Freeman said where you're like, yeah, God definitely would say that to me. When he was like, when Jim Carrey asked him, how do you make somebody love you? He messed up a whole party because he's trying to get Jennifer Aniston to fall back in love with him.
Mm.
And he's just water's pouring on his face and he's in calamity. And he looks at God and he goes, how do you make somebody love you without pushing on their free will? And God says, that, my friend, is the end. That, my friend, is the question.
Mm.
And I was like, I felt that
Mm.
when God said that to him. I
That's
was,
deep.
yeah, because he could do whatever he want. He can't but he can't move people's free will.
Yeah.
When he got God's power. And then he
Which is-
realized,
that's so good because it's so easy for us to question God and question why things happen in our life.
mhm,
But most of what happens in our life is based on somebody's free will.
yep.
And God gives us that. Like that's a gift. I was just thinking about this the other day to myself while I
Mhm.
was driving to work. And it's like, it's a gift. Like God gifts us with free will.
Yeah.
And sometimes Like I was listening to Reliant K. I love Reliant K. And there's a line that says the beauty of grace is that it makes life unfair.
Mhm.
Right? Is that what it says? The beauty of grace that makes life not
What
fair.
song is this?
Some of insecurities, and I've been,
Oh,
you know it. Escape, be my escape.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yes, makes
Yeah.
life not fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about that because I was like, that's a deep lyric, but it kind of goes with that. Like,
Mhm.
that's what grace is too. Like, well, it's a whole nother thing, but God gives us free will. So why do we blame him for all the mess that happens in our life? Like
Yeah.
he allows it because he gives us free will. But just as he gives us free will, he gives everybody else free will. And some people choose to take that and do horrible things that affect other people.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
Anywho,
Anyway,
that's my soapbox.
it's a great show, man.
Yeah,
We don't even have time to talk about the other
I
thing.
know.
This is
and
what
that's
this is what
okay.
podcast should be about.
Yeah, this is a good topic.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed it. So
Yeah, man.
it was good.
I think we're done for the day.
Yeah, we are.
Thanks for listening to hours. Like
Hours
hours of hope.
Hours of hope.
I'm Rohmon,
And I'm Josiah.
and we want to say
Oh,
there's nothing that was gonna come out of my mouth that was inappropriate.
shaka bra.
Shaka bra. In the words of Josiah. Shaka bra.
Shaka bra.
That's pretty bad. Goodbye.
Goodbye.